Are you ever really done?
I don't know, and I'll tell you this much.
Are you ever really done?
And I know,
to answer your question, no.
Everybody's playing with the same rules here, but I just feel like with Thanksgiving, as late as it was this year, you have just completely robbed me of an extra week to get ready.
Yeah, I think Thanksgiving was very late. I think there's a lot going on as it relates to jobs and work and changeover in that department. And I think we really are, I don't know, like just moving at a fast rate where you're not having time to pay attention. My mom's birthday happened, like funerals, things like that happen. So it's moving at a rapid pace. 2025 will be here tomorrow, and I still don't have Christmas gifts.
No doubt. Well, guys, let's get into it here, okay? Lions and Bears this weekend from Soldier Field. It has been a place that the Lions have not had a ton of success. Lions have 2 wins in the last 6 meetings in Chicago. They've given up over 27 points a game, close to 28 points a game. We all know the defensive struggles that this team has had, Braylon Edwards, lately with all of these injuries and what have you. But Chicago played them tough in week 1 on Thanksgiving. It probably should have at the very least gone to overtime had it not been for Matt Eberflus.
One of the dumbest things I've ever seen ever.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is a team that the Lions have not had a ton of success against. The Chicago Bears 5-8 in their last 13 matchups, 2-4 in their last 6 at Soldier Field. And Braylon, in that game at Ford Field on Thanksgiving, the Lions were 5 of 13 on third down. They were 2 of 5 in the red zone, and they had 1 turnover. That cannot happen offensively for them to win this game. I know Chicago has their own problems, but the Lions have got to be better offensively.
Yeah, and I think the Lions have kind of figured things out since that Chicago Bears game. Since then, they played the Green Bay Packers. You saw how that offense was that game. And then they played the Buffalo Bills. Got off to a slow start, but obviously you saw what the numbers were in the chase to catch up with the Bills. So I think they'll be better. I look at it this way, Ryan. That game, they didn't play well. The only 2 games that they've played where 3 games they've had that were really close. The Texans game, obviously, and the Chicago Bears game. It was the red zone. They weren't good in the red zone. That's what cost them against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I think they'll be fine in that department. I think the offense will be good. But I think it's the defense of excuse me. Go ahead. I lost my train of thought.
No, that's all right. I'm putting so much more on the offense for the Lions because this is where the bread and butter. This is where they're healthy. Yeah. And I know losing David Montgomery is a big loss for this team. It is. But how many teams in the NFL, if you lose a big guy like David Montgomery, if you lose your starting running back, how many teams in the NFL have the ability to put another great running back right behind? If Philadelphia lost Saquon Barkley, where are they going?
Kenneth Gainwell, and Kenneth Gainwell is not going to be as
Sorry, dude.
So as it relates to the Detroit Lions, this is what you're going to have to do. You look at the Chicago Bears and how they play. Chicago Bears always start bad. Caleb Williams, they find magic somehow in the second half. It's not going to happen against the Detroit Lions because that offense has been clicking. You can say what you want to about them playing from behind. That's why the stats look like that. They're playing from behind because they're playing that way because Ben Johnson and Jared Goff are in a groove right now. So they're going to put the pressure on Chicago to score points. And frankly Chicago will not be able to score. Caleb Williams, they're just not where the Detroit Lions are offensively. And we don't have David Montgomery. But Ben Johnson do a good job. That's why you find the players they do. That's why Craig Reynolds has still been on this team. That's why they trust in him. They're waiting for moments like this. You don't want them to happen, but you're prepared for them. And then you look at Sione Vaki. This is a guy that he's not as fast as Jahmyr Gibbs, not necessarily as quick as Jahmyr Gibbs, but he fits similar type of mode. He's really good out of the backfield, catching the pass, and also he can run between the tackles. So I look for Ben Johnson. I look for those guys to find something pumping. I don't think Chicago will be able to keep up offensively with the Lions, which will help them defensively.
How important is it to you, Braylon, and to everybody in the chat right now, how important is it to come out and lay it on the Bears? And I know Dan Campbell said earlier in the week, we're just trying to win by 1 point. But you're playing a Bears team who I think has quit on 2024. I mean, everything about the Chicago Bears to me signifies that they have quit on this season. And you saw the quarterback, Caleb Williams, leaned back and doing all this stuff on the bench the other night against the Vikings. The Vikings had their way with them. I want to see a win, there's no doubt. But I think it would be incumbent upon this football team to really come out and lay it on Chicago this weekend.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. I mean, you look at what happened against the San Francisco 49ers. They got destroyed. They got demolished. They got demolished in Green Bay, and then they got demolished against the Minnesota Vikings. They're done. So to your point, you want this team, the Detroit Lions, to still look like a team that you have as a number one seed, that you have getting to the Super Bowl. And I think they will. Man, you look at that offense. I'm telling you, the offense, they're not going to be able to keep up. Talking about the Chicago Bears, that is, they've already laid down. I think the Detroit Lions, I think they go up there and I think they get it done.
Here's Dan Campbell talking about moving forward off that Bills game because, man, this game has just left a sour taste in so many people's mouths. Yes, they scored 42 points, but the offense could have been better. A drop by Amon-Ra on a big third down, a fumble by Amon-Ra. They couldn't run the football. 3 or 4 major injuries in that game. And a lot of people are wondering what is left for the Detroit Lions moving forward. Dan Campbell's putting it behind him.
This is where we're at. This is how we're viewed right now. And look, nobody writes our story, man. We're the only ones who write our own story. And so we have the pen, and there's a lot of football left, and I think we're looking forward to this, to be honest with you. So, man, you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you go back to the basics, man. Go back to work. That's the only way to get better and clean up issues that cost you, you know, because the bottom line is we lost a game. That really is the most important thing. Man, we lost the game, and here's why we lost the game, you know, at the end of the day. So why don't we go clean those things up and take it into Chicago and see what that looks like?
And I think that's the good thing about this past game. You know, it's not excuses being made about the players that were hurt on defense or the guys that went down and this is what cost you. You know, there are moments in that game where you had miscues or you had mistakes, things that caused, drives that got stalled, things of that nature. So you still had an opportunity in the midst of how well Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen played. You had a really good chance, Ryan Ermanni, to still beat that team regardless of what's happened on the injury side. And I think that's where Dan Campbell and this team is at. They're trying to focus on those miscues. They're looking at the film. What did we talk about 4 years ago when we started the show? Self-inflicted negatives. And that's what they're trying to stop. And if you can stop that, this is a much better team than that Chicago Bears team. I mean, this is a team that almost beat Buffalo with what they had going on. So the Detroit Lions will be fine. I think they come out. And to your point, they definitely need to lay it on them. You know why? Because it's not an offense that is stagnant. If the injuries were on the offensive side of the ball, if we were looking at offensive linemen like Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, if them being out, and now Jahmyr Gibbs is out, well, this is a different team, and you will hope your defense could hold, and it'd be an ugly game. Your offense is fine. Your offense has put up how many points in the last 2 games alone? So you know you can score the points, and we know Chicago can't score the points, at least this particular year. So, yes, you're absolutely right in what you asked. You got to lay it on the Chicago Bears team.
And, you know, the Lions are the talk, and the Bills really, but the Lions and Bills are the talk of the NFL. Bills in the positive sense, and the Lions in the negative sense. And it's because that game, albeit it doesn't count as a primetime game, like the standalone 8:20 game on Sunday night or Monday night or anything like that, but that 4:25 time slot was so big, the entire country saw it. In fact, 39.6 million people watched the Lions and the Bills. It blew out the Steelers-Eagles game on Fox. Everybody was all in on Lions and Bills. Everybody saw it.
The most watched game this year was the Bills and the Chiefs. I think that number
surpassed it.
That's what I was just about to say. Wow. And one, it's 2 good teams, 2 good fan bases, 2 great stories, but it's the style of football. It's the style of football on both sides. You look at the offense for the Detroit Lions, you know you want to tune in. I mean, when you got quarterbacks passing for 500 and 5 touchdowns, not just once this season, by the way, and then also you have Josh Allen, this is what people want to watch. People are tired. The scorers are down in the NFL. The passing yards are down. Things of that nature are down all across the board. This is what people want to watch. This is what Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs were doing, 4 or 5 years ago?
And I think because everybody saw it, everybody is drawing major conclusions from this. And I understand it's not great. The injuries are not great. I think I saw a stat yesterday by somebody, and forgive me for not crediting the stat, but it was something along the lines of the Lions have 22 players on IR or out, and the next closest, it listed every team in the NFL, and the team that was in the playoffs that was next highest had 12.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if the Lions had 10 more players not on, you know what I mean? Like, that's just what they're dealing with. And I think because so many people were watching that game and saw the injuries and saw the Bills kind of have their way most of the game with the Lions, I don't think the score was indicative of that game. I think the Bills got off to a 14-0 lead and took it from there. But the Lions still control their own destiny. Never in the history of this franchise have the Lions been able to control their own destiny to get the top seed in the NFC this late in the season. There are 3 weeks to go. They need no help. They don't need to scoreboard watch at all. They have 3 games at Chicago, at San Francisco, both teams with losing records, by the way, and then they come home for what could be an all-or-nothing game against the Minnesota Vikings.
We'll see who Dan Campbell and his team is. Look, they've talked about, since he's been here, Ryan, a game at a time. Whether this is when the Lions were losing, they talked about it's on to the next game. What can we do in this next game? Forget about the last game. Even when they're winning, now it's on to the next game. We can't focus on that last game. So are you a team that can truly do that? Because if you are, which I believe they are, they'll come out and beat a team that they are superior over. I understand it's a rival game. This Bears team is nowhere near as good as this Lions team is when they were at full value and they looked like they were turning the corner as an organization. They're damn sure not. They damn sure can't beat the Lions in this space they're in. They are a broken team. You don't know who's running the team from the president's standpoint, the GM standpoint, what's going on with Caleb Williams and the rest of the squad. So this is a team they should beat. You look at this 49ers team. They're coming up next. Brock Purdy with no Brandon Ayuk, with no CMC, if you will. He's not the same quarterback. They're not the same team. They have injury after injury after injury, and they are a team that the Lions should not lose to. I don't care who the Lions have missing. And then at the end, that'll decide it all. It's you and the Minnesota Vikings. Who wants it more? Like, what are your goals? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? So I just look at that road for the Detroit Lions, and it's one that I lick my chops at if I'm the Detroit Lions. They're going to be 1-2, and then they decide their own destiny for the first time in Lions history. You can't tell me a former Lion and Dan Campbell, as a coach, can't motivate this team on those principles.
There's no doubt about it. And I'm telling you, Jared Goff, he says the same thing. Here's Jared Goff talking about what the room does when Dan Campbell talks.
What kind of difference is it when you have a man step in front of a team like he did today and explain what's ahead for you guys?
Yeah, it's funny because it's like relative, right? Like, because adversity 2 years ago is different than adversity right now. So watching him stand in the storm in 1-6 and 3-13, whatever we were that first year, that's what, for me, makes his words mean so much more now when we're 12-2 facing our first loss in the last 12 weeks. So if that's our adversity right now, we'll be just fine. We'll handle it. We'll move on. But I think, when he stands in front of the room, people listen, and the way that we handle adversity as a team has been pretty good.
And, Jared Goff can say it, but their actions speak louder. They have handled adversity pretty darn good, Braylon Edwards. They have not lost back-to-back games since October of 2022. That is over 2 full calendar years.
That's because the Lions become a really damn good football team. It's because usually they're the ones that are making the mistakes. It's the other teams that are making mistakes. They're forcing the intensity. They're forcing you to keep up with their style of play. And I think this is going to reign true. The Lions are really good. Sometimes, Ryan, they overthink things. Sometimes they have oversights that they know in the back of their mind they shouldn't have been out of character on this play, or I shouldn't have missed the block on this play. Ooh, I know I can catch this pass. I was pressing. And I think that's what happens in the losses. When they come back the very next game, they focus on not pressing, not trying to make every moment, ooh, I got to make this catch. Ooh, I got to do this, or I have to do this. just play the game. Just play the game the way that you've done it over the last 3 years that had you at the best record in the NFL in that time span. Just be those guys, and I think that's what happens when they come back to the table.
All right, let me go back to something we were just talking about, the race for the number 1 seed in the NFL, in the NFC. Look at these teams, Braylon Edwards. This is the team. Leave this up for a minute here, Pete.
You got it, buddy.
This is what you're looking at, and this is what each team has in front of them. And I just, before I send it to you, Braylon, there are 3 teams here tied at 12-2. Look at Detroit and look at Minnesota. You are real close to going from the 1 seed to the 5 seed.
Yeah.
Real close. That's how thin this margin is, my man. Philadelphia, it's simple for them. They are the 1 seed or they are the 2 seed, and that is it.
Yep.
Yeah, the way that I look at it right now, you're absolutely correct. I think Philly's going to be in 1 or 2 spots, but I would prefer the Lions' path over all 3 paths. Like, if you give me the paths, I prefer the Lions' paths, and this is why. You look at where the San Francisco, excuse me, let me get that back
Sorry,
up
buddy.
there, Pete. No,
My
you're
bad.
good. Look at the Lions. They got a Chicago Bears team that is pretty much given up on the season. I think they should handle them well, especially coming off a loss. That San Francisco team, same can be said. You got to go out there, but Brock Purdy is not the same Brock Purdy when he doesn't have all the knives in the knife set. And then the Minnesota game is the one you got to worry about. Philly, Jaden Daniels is playing as well as any quarterback in the NFC right now. And you look at the numbers and you look at how he's playing. I don't know if I want to play Jalen Daniels in Washington right now with the division on the line. Jalen Hurts, I'm sorry. Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback this moment than Jalen Hurts is in that system. So that's tough. Dallas is Dallas, and then New York is New York. You got to play 3 rival games in your division. I don't want that road. You look at Minnesota. I don't want to go play the Sea Chickens, as KG likes to call
Minnesota
them.
clearly has the toughest
But
path.
100%. So
Clearly.
looking at all those paths, I'll take the Detroit path any day of the week. You get the 2 games, and then you get the Minnesota game at home. Give me that path.
And there's no doubt. And again, it's just you look at this, KG, and this is razor thin right now.
It is, man. I wish we were the Chiefs and we had the luxury of just being the only team. We ain't got nobody chasing us up the rear paws. But just the way
Hold on,
this.
before you say something, KG, let me ask you a question about that.
Go ahead.
But don't you love that to the fact once you get in the dance and you get into the Super Bowl, like the Lions' road, the NFC this year would have proved it's giving them a lot of bit of experience when you go against that. I like the road that they had to travel.
No, absolutely. And if you look at the teams they have left, we've beaten both 2 of those teams, and San Francisco is very beaten up right now. And when you look at the playoffs, a lot of those teams in the playoffs we have defeated as well. The only ones we haven't is Washington and Philly, and we haven't seen them. So also Tampa Bay, if you want to throw them in there. But I do like the Lions' path. I think everything is still ahead of this team, and as long as you have Jared Goff and this coaching staff, I don't think you have a lot to be worried about. Yes, the injuries are in concern, but if you have AG on the other side, he has to find ways to scheme it up, and your defense has to step up, point blank, period. But I think this team has a very easy road if they can get to the number 1 seed and play all their playoff games at home.
More so than the home field advantage of having the number 1 seed, I think it is critical, and you will hear me say this every day for the next 3 weeks, for the Lions to have that extra week off is so critical to this football team specifically because of how banged up they are. To have that bye week and only the number 1 seed gets the bye week is ultra critical for this team and their path to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we talked a little bit yesterday, Ryan. You talk about Dave Montgomery getting a 3rd opinion now, and the potential for him to be able to not have surgery and be able to sit out 4 weeks or so and be able to come back in that game with a brace, a stable brace that would be fitting for only him. I mean, imagine if you get that bye, and now you look at the recovery time for Dave Montgomery. You're talking about 5 weeks. Essentially, if you get that bye, or just under 5, excuse me. So having that bye would benefit the Detroit Lions more than anybody in this NFL. And to your point, that's something they're going to be playing for. And that's another thing to think about in these games. This is in the back of their mindset when they're at Soldier Field this week. This is what they're thinking about when they go out to Levi Stadium and then when they come back home. We got to have the number 1 seed.
Here's Jared Goff. This is Jared Goff earlier in the week at his media session.
Asked Dan a similar question earlier. What has been the key, in your opinion, to that consistency and resiliency of not being able to have those back-to-back losses over the past couple of years?
Yeah, it's a lot of things. It's just mentality and not overreacting. Like I said, I think I said it on Tuesday. Like if we reacted like everyone outside of us, we'd have no chance. It would seasons we're done. That's what everyone's saying. But no, we're in great shape. We're 12-2 and everything in front of us. And to answer your question, I think it's just a testament to the guys we have and to our coaches and the way we respond and the way that we approach every day and every week and really intentional about getting back on the right track when we do slip off it briefly.
So there's Jared Goff, and no, they're not done. And I do appreciate their ability to stay even keel throughout this whole thing, Braylon, because while most people, a lot of people in and around, Detroit and Lions fans are starting to look up and feel like the sky is falling a little bit, they do not. They know who's in that room. They know what they're capable of. And for the record, I can't say this enough either. I do not think the sky is falling on them. I do believe they'll win the next 3 games, and I do believe they are still the favorite to come out of the NFC.
Yeah, they're 12-2 with a defense that's equal to or better than the defense. Talking about the players that are healthy than the defense that they had last year, and they made it to the NFC Championship, and the offense is better. You're talking about a team that we just talked about. They legitimately shot themselves in the foot in this Buffalo Bills game, regardless of the injuries, and still had an opportunity to put themselves in position to win. So the sky is not falling, and it's good that they have a leader like Jared Goff. Jared Goff has been through a lot in his tenure. One thing that we give him the credit. He's always even killed. No matter if he throws for 500 and 5 touchdowns in a win, or no matter if he throws for 505 touchdowns in a loss, he's going to be the same guy at that podium. You can't really get him flustered. You can't get him really to look flustered and frazzled. Look at what he's been through with the Rams. Look at what he's been through in the beginning of the story here and this to get to where he is now. So you're not going to have a guy in Jared Goff that's worried about one loss to a damn good team that you actually had a chance to win in. So he's going to get the guys right, and you follow guys like that. That's why sometimes leaders don't have to be the ones with the loudest voices and the most memorable speeches and the yelling. And follow guys that make sense. Follow guys that stay the course, and follow guys that do the things in the moments of adversity, which we have seen in the last 3 years from 16.
I want to give proper credit on that last clip. Is that Eric Woodyard or is that Corey Woods? It says
Eric Woodyard.
Eric Woodyard. It says Corey Woods on my rundown, but Eric Woodyard was the voice in that clip.
It's my bad. No,
okay.
It's my bad. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to make sure we get proper credit.
Yep.
Thanks so much. Appreciate that. But yeah, Braylon, you're absolutely right about that. And the belief that they have in that room in one another. Yeah. You've been in many locker rooms. I just don't know if you've ever been in a locker room, maybe the Jets back then, but in this locker room, these guys walk in there and they believe in the man next to them. And if it's the man if it's the fifth string, sixth string guy in O'Connor, they expect, I don't even know the guy's first name. They expect O'Connor or Muhammad or whoever is lining
somebody.
Whoever to do their job.
I've been in some great locker rooms, and that Jets locker room was a great one. You had some guys that they drafted that were homegrown, whether it was Nick Mangold or DeBrickashaw Ferguson, and you mixed that in with Dave Harris, shout out to U of M, and then Darrelle Revis. They had some guys, but they had a patchwork of guys that had been other places. Patchwork of guys that had played hard, wanted to win, came to this team. So we just bought in. But I've never seen anything like this. This is homegrown guys. These are Detroit Lions guys. These are guys that were drafted here. These are guys that were bought specifically by Brad Holmes. And these are guys that they fight and claw and tooth and nail. And they represent the organization well. Everything that they say they are, everything that the city is, they encapsulate.
All right, guys, let me set up the show for you a little bit. We do have a Top 10 Thursday. Top 10 Thursday. We have that happening today.
It's a fun one.
Dr. Pierce has been on it, man.
Yeah.
He has attacked these injuries like unlike anybody else.
Lock him in the building, I said.
I'm serious, man. He has been on it. So he is going to join us for his usual 3:30 time spot on Thursday. So we'll be joined by Dr. Pierce and his help potentially on the way when it comes to the Lions defense. And
Okay.
I'll tell you what big name player might be on his way to Detroit. You'll hear from him as well. All that and so much more coming up. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Are you overdue for a new car? Beat the holiday rush and get an amazing deal from Les Stanford Chevrolet. Right now, a Blazer EV 2LT with all-wheel drive, only $149 per month. Or check out the Equinox EV-LT for only $169 per month. Get to Les Stanford today or click on the QR code on the screen and check out the massive inventory. Don't forget, Les Stanford has Cadillac Buick GMC as well. Les Stanford in Dearborn and Ferndale. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive.
Over to the second best bar in downtown Detroit at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports Lions pregame show every home game from the second best bar. Only at the second best bar. Come get some.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at LesStanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry, offer ends December 20th.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
New Holland Brewing Company is here to tell you about their latest drink and maybe their greatest drink, Tangerine Space Machine, the easy drinking IPA with out-of-this-world flavor, smooth and juicy with a refreshing crushability. Take your taste buds to the moon with Tangerine Space Machine and grab yourself a can of this intergalactic hazy goodness. And it is the official beer of outer space. Thank you, Bray. Brewed by New Holland Brewing Company right here in the great state of Michigan.
When you give to the Salvation Army, your donation makes it possible to serve our community's most vulnerable. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, the Salvation Army of Metro Detroit's 2024 Red Kettle Christmas Campaign fundraising goal is $7 million. And your contributions will help provide love beyond Christmas to individuals in need of food, shelter, and compassion. Scan that QR code over there, right there. Scan that QR code right now there on the screen or go to donate.sagreatlakes.org to donate. Salvation Army, my friends. Ring that kettlebell.
A lot of us are going to be LA Chargers fans tonight.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. It's got nothing to do with Jim Harbaugh. But if the Chargers win tonight, that would mean that the Miami Dolphins have to win out, and the Chargers would have to lose out to get anywhere near the postseason. And I think collectively, everybody in Detroit this weekend will be rooting for the San Francisco 49ers to beat the Miami Dolphins. And here's why. Calais Campbell, it's being reported that the Dolphins may potentially release defensive tackle Calais Campbell if they are eliminated from the playoffs in order to allow him the chance to sign with a contender and win a Super Bowl. He is a future Hall of Famer. He is desperate to latch on to a winner. It is a natural fit to be here in Detroit. Playing time, opportunity, everything would line up for Calais Campbell to be a Detroit Lion. Is he what he used to be? No. Is he better than anything that the Lions could put out right now, aside from DJ Reader? Yes. And could you imagine him playing next to DJ Reader? That would, and then you mix Onwuzurike in, that would be a huge, huge thing for this football team. So, first things first, Miami needs to be eliminated from playoff contention. And it goes a long way to being eliminated if the LA Chargers win tonight.
Sucks that we have to resort to, hoping and wishing on players that are in their 40s.
Right.
Oh, my God.
38 years old.
Close.
Yep.
I didn't even realize he was that
You're right.
old.
He's under, but he's close. No, look, I met Calais Campbell before when I was in L.A., man. Real good dude. Did not know that he was as tall as he was. He's a big man. Pause. He's a guy that can play, but where you're at right now, sure, bring him in. This is a guy that wants to win a Super Bowl. This is a guy that gives all, regardless of what age he is. He gives all. He makes plays. I've seen him last year. He had, 5-6 sacks. Year before that, I mean, he finds a way to get to the quarterback in due time. But I think it's also just about a reinvigoration. Sometimes it's hard to draw energy from players that aren't in pads, to draw energy and strength on players because they're there. Look, Aiden's there, but he's not there. Anzalone's there, but he's not there. Aleem McNeil will be there. He will be a part of the squad. He will be on the field, but he's not there. And when you get guys in uniforms and pads, just remember, look when Z first got here. Look what the energy was. He brought a new form of energy. So, you're talking about throwing bodies. You're going to need bodies, especially bodies that still have a high level of knowledge about this game, about getting to the quarterback, about the stunts and doubles, and that can help out some of the younger guys, like you said, on the staff. So, if this is a move that is available, I support it. I support him 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Is the question, right, KG?
At this point,
why
yeah,
not?
because like you said, you need bodies, and at this point, it's not normally in the Lions' MO or track record to go out and make a move like this late in the season, but anything is possible during a Super Bowl run, and I think we need to keep that in mind. If you can add any type of veteran experience to this defensive line, I think that bodes well, just period, because you absolutely need as much veteran knowledge and experience as you can have throughout the playoffs, people that have been there and done that. I do realize that he's 38.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know he was that old. That's a little. I thought he was a little bit younger than that.
Right.
But 38, I mean, somebody that's a little long in the tooth, but you only need him for a set amount of games. So if he can come in here and do what AG asks of him to do and do his job, then I think it could work.
You know who's done this for years and still in the NFL, I believe, is Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah.
Mercedes Lewis has
another.
found a way to latch on to teams that are in playoff spots, whether it's the Green Bay Packers, whether it's insert team, the Bears, the Seattle Seahawks, and find ways to help out those teams in big moments, whether it's talking to tight ends, whether it's working with them, whether it's coming in and just kind of know what the moment calls for.
Yeah.
Players like this do have a role, and Ndamukong Suh did this when he got to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So there is proven fact that sometimes you bring these guys, they give you a little something extra, Ryan.
10 tackles for loss this year for Calais Campbell. That is second on the Miami Dolphins team. 4 sacks, 5 passes defensed. He's a big man.
Yeah.
That
Get
gets
those
that
arms
paws
up.
up.
Get those arms up.
Solid stats.
In the way. Here's Calais Campbell telling the media exactly what the plan may or may not be.
You know, weeks back, before the trade deadline and stuff, there was a small conversation, that you really didn't hope would ever even become a thing, and it was kind of like just something to talk about, nothing like concrete or anything like that. And so, I don't know if we're there just yet, but it's definitely something you think about. So.
You had a chance to maybe go to a contender at the trade deadline. Would you ever operate with any regrets toward maybe not going?
Oh, I'm never living regrets. Never living with regrets. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no wrong decision. You just make a decision, you rock with it. And, in this business, they rarely even involve the player in any decisions, right? I'm just show up and be a professional and go, try to be the best player I can be to help my team win. And I came here to the Dolphins, with a year-long commitment to go out here and compete and try to make the playoffs, and that job's technically not done yet. We still have a shot. So, I'm committed.
Do you have any sense?
He went to the Dolphins, signed with the Dolphins for one reason. No state income tax. No, that was
that's one of the reasons.
Second part that he did was because he thought that was the team that was going to win the AFC East and go to the playoffs and really be a contender to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and that's a conversation that they had. And look, the NFL has gotten a little bit more honest than it used to be. Don't get me wrong; they start telling the truth always. But you'll get some coaches and you'll get some franchises that maybe want to just be honest. I think that's what happened. They say, hey, look, we got a real good shot at winning this thing. We think we're better than the Bills. We think the Jets and the Patriots are depleted. Come down here and win. They got to a point. Soon as you know who got hurt, I guarantee you the conversation was, look, Calais, I know we're operating on borrowed time as it relates to your career. If we can get you to a spot, and you give you a better chance to win a Super Bowl, let us do that for you. Let us see what we can work out. It didn't happen. So, but this has already been on the docket. I think was Mike McDaniel. I think he's the guy that's like, I want to see you get a ring versus just standing here and fulfilling your commitment and your obligation.
3 years, 17 years in the NFL.
Let me ask you a question.
Wow.
Let me ask all you guys a question. How are you in relation to that? Like, is that okay? Is that cool?
What?
Like, trying to ring chase, as they say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Like, you guys are cool with
so
that?
There are players who've earned it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say Calais Campbell has earned it.
Okay.
I agree.
17 years in the NFL. When you play a non-quarterback position, to make it 17 years in that league,
It's tough.
That's 2 Hall of Fame careers.
Yeah.
That's 2 Hall of Fame careers he's had. I mean, you don't get 17 years in this league anymore as a non-quarterback.
I don't have a problem with it at all, and I like that individuals get opportunities, for that. Especially if you've been vested, you've played forever, and it's like, look, my team ain't got nothing to offer. Is there a way that I can maybe slide to one of the 7 and give myself an opportunity?
If he doesn't come to Detroit, I'd have a big problem with it.
See? No, I'm joking. And that's fine. But I think it's just something after the deadline. Like, if you get a trade done by the trade deadline and you put in some time kind of with that team, you look at what Odell Beckham did for the Los Angeles Rams, Von Miller, they really helped win that championship.
Baseball used to do that all the time.
But it's
there was the trade deadline.
But it sucks. It's like cherry
July
picking.
31st, and then you're like, how is this guy moving in August? Now they have since changed that.
You know how many great football players get an opportunity to win a Super Bowl because of restrictions that this wasn't allowed back then. I don't know.
You don't like it, and that's okay not to like it.
I don't. I feel like the halfway point. I feel like trade deadline, I think yes. But I feel like when you get to wait all season and sit at home, like the individuals that necessarily won't even play a season, sit at the crib and then cherry pick. So I don't know.
I understand. I mean, I do get it. I do think
I might be hating right now, to be honest.
No, I get it.
Might be a little hate.
I do believe. I do believe this is a player of anybody out there that you could possibly get. I mean, you're talking about, okay, is 38-year-old Calais Campbell better than anybody you could pull off of somebody's practice squad right now? And if you pull somebody off the practice squad, you have to bring them up to the 53-man roster of your own team. But isn't that kind of an upgrade from anything that you have on the depth chart right now? I mean, 100%. I'm just looking at the depth chart for the Lions. Here's the Lions depth chart. Okay, the front 4, Zadarius Smith, Levi Onwuzurike, DJ Reader, and Josh Paschal. That alone, pretty darn good.
That's not bad.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'll go to battle with those guys any day of the week. But then you look at the second group, and we know all 4 of those players are not playing 60 snaps, 70 snaps a game. Al-Qaeda Muhammad, Broderick Martin, Miles Adams, and Pat O'Connor.
There he is. That's my guy. Yeah.
And listen, they
like Pat
did
O'Connor,
fine.
Mm-hmm.
They did fine. But I mean, are you a
they gave
Calais
us 38.
Campbell guy, or are you a Pat O'Connor guy? Are you a Calais Campbell guy, or are you coming to the table with Miles Adams? And I'm not saying these players
Taking
are
Miles Adams.
I'm not saying these players are bad, but Broderick Martin. I haven't seen that guy. I mean, since draft night 3 years ago.
Also, it's not going to cost you anything.
Buddy.
Like, also, it's not going to cost you anything.
Exactly.
Like, it's not going to cost you anything. You get better, you get more experience. You get a guy that's been all pro, a guy that just knows how to play his position, and a guy that can see things. Remember when Zadarius first got here, before he even played in the game, when he got the off game, the free game, what was he doing on the sideline?
Coaching.
He was coaching. He said, boom, no, you see the 3 tech right here? Now, you want to – he was out there coaching.
Calling the protection.
100%, and they've elevated a little bit. So that's the same thing you get out of Calais Campbell, and Calais Campbell is even more – in terms of a career than Zadarius Smith. So I think it benefits the Lions to bring this individual in, because you see he's somebody that's still getting to the quarterback. Yeah. He's somebody that's still getting pressures. And also, like you also said, he gets those hands up. You play a lot of quarterbacks that are 6'2" and lower. Matt Stafford's a shorter quarterback. Sam Darnold's a shorter quarterback. Caleb Williams is a shorter quarterback. I mean, they're not making the playoffs, but you get some of these shorter quarterbacks that you're going to have to go against. You get Baker Mayfield. You might have to see in the playoffs. This is about the long run. And you're talking about a guy that's 6'7". He put those arms up, he's even taller.
No doubt about it. Hey, just NFL for a moment, talking about these injuries. Did you see Patrick Mahomes, full participant in practice today?
Yep. With a high ankle sprain.
I get a kick out of this guy because he looks like he gets bent in half. Mm-hmm. And this isn't the first time that's ever happened. This guy is like like a slinky, the old toy, the slinky, and you could twist it as much as you want. You could play with it as much as you want. You could toss it as much as you want, and it always goes back to its original form.
That's right.
What?
And I feel like that is kind of like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
You could hit that. You can hit that man like I never seen. Man get hit before, and the man keeps coming after you.
Hey, yo. I appreciate that right there. Hey, yo, on that comment, Ryan. But I think what it is, Ryan, I think he's a damn tough football player. I think when you watch him play, like, Patrick Mahomes has shown us enough over his 8-year career that he'll give you all that he has on the football field. He'll give you what he has. But I think also there's that element of, he's a baseball player. There's that element of kind of like, look at me, I'm hurt, and I'll get back up and do something. I'm not taking anything away from him, ladies and gentlemen. I'm saying he is one of those tough quarterbacks. But also, too, he's one of those ones where, like, it's like soccer players. That they think everything is right. They fall. And then after they dust themselves off, they're like, oh, shoot, it's not that bad. Now I got to play like it was. I think you get a level of that with Patrick Mahomes. I just think you do. I think you do.
I do, too. I agree.
I do.
He wants his story to be even more dramatic.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I'm not saying any of his injuries are BS. I'm just simply saying a lot of these, sometimes you see them flopping, sometimes you see some things, and just it's part of the story. Oh man, he's a tough football player, man. Like you look at the grit, he getting up, he's out there on one leg, like, man, come on.
One team right now that your life is on the line, Chiefs or Bills?
Chiefs. Because I've seen it in the playoffs. Like, and that may be the clicheest thing to say right now, but it's the truth. You've seen it out of Andy Reid. You've seen it out of Patrick Mahomes. You've seen somehow that this team figures out a way. Oh, you know what? Duh. We've been here before. Duh. Like, they went on the road. Last year, the story was, well, now they got to go to, MTN Bank. Now they got to go to whatever Buffalo calls their stadium. Now they have to go to. Fine, no problem. So I think you have to bet on them, because I don't know if I could trust Sean McDermott and Josh Allen in the final dance. So, Chiefs.
I would look. Josh Allen is playing incredible football, but I would have to right now say the Chiefs as well. Yeah. And again, I can't unsee 90 points either.
Yeah.
The Bills' defense has given up 90 points in the last 2 weeks.
100%.
I can't unsee that.
Well, when they match up, it's going to be a shootout.
And not just 90 points. Easy 90 points in yards. Like when you look at how they executed.
And it could have been
talk
more
about the
outside of a
Rams,
turnover
talk
and a
about the
drop.
Lions. Like the Rams didn't have any issues with that defense, and the Lions only had a couple.
But when these teams face off, you already know they're going to light up the scoreboard. So I really think it's quarterback against quarterback. And how many times can they really meet in the playoffs and Josh Allen doesn't get it done? I mean, you see a quarterback so many times, eventually you got to get the best of them. And if you just look at the product of football that both of them have played this year, Josh Allen is on all world right now. He's on a different level. Patrick Mahomes, while still the best quarterback, quote, quote, walking God's green earth, he has not looked at this year. So just based on what I've seen, I got to believe that maybe Josh Allen gets the best of him this time.
Is there any team outside of Kansas City and Buffalo
Peyton got lucky once.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's bound to happen eventually.
that scares you? For instance, is Baltimore even in this conversation?
No.
Is Houston in this conversation?
No.
Is Pittsburgh in this conversation?
Not even.
And then you go down a little bit further, Denver and L.A., the Chargers, that is.
Yeah.
I don't think either of those teams have a shot.
Yeah,
I don't think
J.K.
Houston
Dobbins
has a
being
shot.
out hurts Chargers.
Yeah, I don't think Houston has a shot. But I mean, are we counting out Baltimore too quickly?
No.
Or no?
No.
They haven't been strong all year. Their defense has been suspect, and surprisingly, because they have all that talent on the defensive end. And Lamar Jackson has just not proved it in playoff situations. So I can't trust that. Like to your point, I can't trust that right now.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, go ahead, Peter.
I was going to say, can I say one quick thing, if you don't mind?
of
The
course.
Kansas City Chiefs are starting to get healthy too, and that's one thing that's also scary. And then plus on top of that, wide receivers are talented on their own. They learn the routes, they learn the playbook. But what Patrick Mahomes has done to Juju Smith-Schuster, and what he is helping to do for DeAndre Hopkins for the second time. What he's also doing for DeAndre Hopkins to help him run better routes. And now Marquise Hollywood Brown is coming back, who was supposed to be the deep guy for the start of the season. Isaiah Pacheco. So now you got two running backs with Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. I don't count Kareem Hunt out.
No.
So I'm just saying that they're getting healthy at the right time too, and that's another reason, Ryan, to your point, why I would take Kansas City over Buffalo is because Kansas City looks like they're going to steamroll Buffalo like the Lions did.
Buffalo had an opportunity to kind of control their destiny against the Chiefs this year. They beat the Chiefs, and they were only down one loss, and they lost again. And they lost to a team that they shouldn't have lost to. So I
Gave
think
up 48 to the Rams.
100%. Like it was an easy fest. I mean, they were 10-2. So that Chiefs, man. You talk about that. It's going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be a good game regardless. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what you get to. You look at all those teams you name. I can name deficiencies in all those AFC teams you name. There's deficiencies. It's the Chiefs, Steelers, and the Buffalo.
If the playoffs
Bills.
started today, it'd be Buffalo and the Chargers. We'd probably go
Buffalo all day. Yep.
It would be Pittsburgh and the Broncos. We'd probably go Pittsburgh. And then it'd be Houston and Baltimore. Okay, so
let's not act like and we'll get to this because the top 10 is going to be featuring this. Let's not act like that Lamar Jackson season isn't happening right now. I just looked up his stats. I didn't realize he was 35 tuds for 3 interceptions. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that later.
So then you'd go Kansas City, Baltimore round 2.
Kansas City, Baltimore.
It's
got to be Kansas City, man.
And you'd go Buffalo and Pittsburgh.
Buffalo.
So then you have Kansas City, Buffalo.
There
you go, Pete. Look at you, Pete Spivak. Look at you, Pete Spivak.
I got you, brother.
I don't think that's the team that Buffalo wants to play. Even though it's designed like that, I think that would
Pittsburgh?
be Pittsburgh. I don't think Pittsburgh. I don't think they want to play because the way that their defense.
You could be right about that. I wouldn't argue with you on that.
The way that their defense is operating, they'll get George Pickens back. The way their defense is operating, that offense and Russell Wilson and what they've been doing all season, minus the Philly game due to a couple of injuries. I'm telling you, I think they match up well against Buffalo, and I think Mike Tomlin, defensive specialist, he's definitely going to design some stuff for Josh Allen and that offense. But I'm telling you. Just what I see.
And I do think the teams that are – can you put that graphic
back
up? I do think the teams that right now are in the playoffs on each side of the bracket with 3 weeks to go are the teams that will be in the playoffs. Your seeding might change a little bit, but these are going to be the 7 teams in the AFC playoffs. There's nobody. The Colts are not catching the Houston Texans.
No.
Miami's done, and Cincinnati is done.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. You look up and down that board, you look at the Chargers. The Chargers don't have enough offensively, and the guy that really helped them this year, J.K. Dobbins, guess what? He's hurt again, and in the last 3 games, they've only scored 17 points. I appreciate what Bo Nix is doing as a rookie quarterback, but he is just that.
Yeah.
He is a rookie quarterback that I don't trust in this playoffs. The Baltimore Ravens, hey, we know what they're going to do. They're going to win the game, and then they're going to get a situation where you're going to get the freeze up by the offensive coordinator, Lamar Jackson, and John Harbaugh. It happens every single year. Texans aren't as good as they were last year. That's just facts.
Yep.
And the Steelers, like I said, it's Steelers, Buffalo, and KC.
Do we have the NFC side?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so right now it'd be Detroit with the 1 seed, and then you'd have Philadelphia and Washington.
Yep.
Philly, Washington. Give me a winner.
Philly, Washington. Washington.
I would really first round.
I'm taking Washington.
You'd have Tampa Bay
I'm just
and
joking.
Green Bay.
Like what?
I'm just joking. Philly.
Tampa Bay, Green Bay.
That's a great matchup.
It is a great matchup.
Tampa Bay's playing as good.
Right.
Quietly, Tampa Bay's playing as good a football as anybody in the NFL right now.
Baker Mayfield, top 5 quarterback in the league right now.
That's
seriously
a fact.
Top 5.
I
Shout
still
out to
gotta go
Maz.
Green
Shout
Bay.
out to Maz for not quitting on Baker.
Shout out to Maz. That's right.
Still got to go Green Bay though. They've been there, done that.
But Matt LaFleur is one thing about Matt LaFleur is his butthole gets tight in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right.
That's true.
And we have proof. It wasn't just Jordan Love yesterday. Last year they did well, but he did it with Aaron Rodgers.
He gets a little James Franklin in his throat.
100%.
Normally they at least get to the NFC Championship. They won't because of the Lions.
I'll give you Green Bay. I'll give you Green Bay.
Okay, and then
it's gonna be a good one.
And then the Rams and the Vikings.
I want to say Rams so bad.
I think the Vikings will sneak that one out.
It's the defense for the Vikings you got to worry about.
That's what I'm saying.
I got Rams in that one, and I'll tell you why.
Okay,
Vikings in the playoffs.
Feel free.
I usually go, who's the better coach? Who's the better quarterback? I think Sean McVay over Kevin O'Connell. Even though Kevin O'Connell is good, I still take Sean McVay. And I'm taking Matthew Stafford over Sam Darnold every day and twice on Sunday.
And playoff experience.
Who learned under Sean McVay?
Kevin O'Connell.
Don't count out that he might know a couple little tricks of the trade.
I know, but usually it has happened before. But usually, teacher always beats student.
But which Rams team are you getting? They've been so inconsistent all
that's a
year
great
long.
question.
And they are playing as good a football as anybody
They
right
are.
now.
Yeah.
They are. You talk about Kansas City getting healthy.
Yep.
The Rams are getting healthy.
True.
Since you say coach and quarterback, what if you add one caveat to it? Coach, quarterback, and now you got defensive coordinator. Because don't sleep on who Brian Flores is as a defensive coordinator.
That's true.
Like they don't have a scrub trying to play chess with Sean McVay. He's a damn good. And that's probably the biggest surprise in Minnesota for me this year was how the defense played, especially first 10 games of the year.
No doubt. It's going to be interesting. This is a fight to the finish, though. There's no doubt. Just quickly in the NFC, again, look, Seattle is out there. They could get in. There's no question about it. I do think Tampa hangs on and beats Atlanta. Atlanta is a game out of the first place. We could talk about them coming up in a little bit, but I do think
quarterback under
I know.
them.
I do think Tampa hangs on in that division, and I do think LA hangs on. Excuse me.
Bless you.
You
got you covered. Got you covered.
I do think the Rams hang on to beat Seattle. They play each other at the end of the year. So I think the teams that you see right now on this list in the playoffs, those are the teams that are going to be in the playoffs.
You know what I want? I want like our preseason division predictions. I want to put those up there because I got a feeling,
buddy.
I got a feeling, Ryan. Me and you, we got a couple of things right.
I need to find a few
it's all
things
said and
here.
done.
Here you go, Braylon. Here you go, buddy.
Jeez, good job, Pete Spivak.
Oh no, these are the
season predictions. Preseason. I'm sorry, my friend.
Talking about I'm talking about like the division predictions, the division winners.
That one.
Because I want to say we both picked the Rams. We both picked the Lions. We both picked.
I said Atlanta over Tampa.
I said Tampa. I took Baker. So Tampa, Rams, Lions.
It's all right.
What division am I missing? We'll figure
We'll find it. We'll find it. Maybe we'll find it and revisit it tomorrow.
There you go.
I like that.
That'll be
Now you're cooking.
All right, guys, we're
Grease.
going to take a timeout. When we come back, it is a Top 10 Thursday. Braylon will take it from there. But first, a message from KDK Law. They've got your back. Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, and other family law issues. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. 10-plus years of experience, 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on your screen right now or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you. KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
And you can fuel that Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sorry, Kenny?
Sabbath Coffee Roaster.
There you go. Absolutely. Go to SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com right now. Choose your favorite roast. Use the code word Woodward, and you'll get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. And we will be right back, folks.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, enjoy a $20 haircut special, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Just scan the QR code, get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. It was packed out there today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Yo, before we get back to the people in the second hour of the show, the NIL is getting out of hand. Or at least the ask of some of these individuals. Take, for instance, wide receiver out of Texas Tech. Ryan Ermanni, I've never heard of this guy.
Okay.
Never heard anything about this man. Name is Micah Hudson. This is what he's asking for. You ready for this? $700,000 minimum wire up front for a 1-year deal.
Wow.
$700 minimum up front. Okay, keep that up front part in mind. Separate NIL deal for 3 cars for family members to sign immediately. Personal driver with Cadillac SUV for Michael from spring practice through the season. Medical injury time off and playing after injury determined only by Micah and his family. Last but not least, family hotel and travel arrangements paid each game up to 10 members to have travel, tickets, and costs paid for. Ryan Ermanni, do you know what this man's stats were last season?
0 touchdowns, 0 catches, 0 targets.
You weren't far off. In 8 games, he had 8 catches, he had 123 yards, and he had a donut in every other statistical category. What the F are we doing?
Right. Well, that goes back to Mike Loxley. Remember that when he was the head coach at Maryland? I don't even know if he is the head coach at Maryland still or not, to be honest with you. But he said he had that third string running back who wanted
150K?
Yeah. Third string running back says, "Where's my 100K?"
Right,
dude.
You gotta at least be finding the end zone to have any type of inquiries.
Come on,
I'm about to go back to college in a minute.
Right.
I could go back.
Get the sling.
Eight games, he had 123 yards. I could get that now.
Yeah, you could.
8 games?
Yeah,
crazy.
I know, right?
Hey Pete, before we get into top 10 Thursday, I do want to. You do have that.
I do, unless you want to save them for tomorrow.
No, let's see.
All
let's see
right,
what we got.
hang on. NFC, here you
I
go,
need,
right
I need
guy.
a win.
These are division winners. Detroit,
okay.
Atlanta, Philadelphia, and the Rams.
Oh, one off.
Wow. That was, and the wild cards: 49ers, Packers, Bears. So 2 of my wild cards. No, that's not a good clip. That's not good.
Well, you got 1, 2,
I got 3 division winners and 1 wild card.
Oh, who's in Green Bay? Yeah. What? Nobody knew that San Francisco was going to get decimated.
Right. And Minnesota.
Well, I kind of.
Okay. Lions over Green Bay in the championship. Do
Okay,
the
which my AFC? Kansas City, Baltimore, the Jets. Oh, the Jets.
Yep. I tried to tell y'all. Y'all didn't
man.
listen. Y'all did not listen.
Hey, my Chargers pick looks good though.
Yeah,
it does.
The fighting Jimmies.
It does.
You
Braylon?
had the Colts as a division winner too. That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
did.
Here we go, Bray. Oh, my bad. Bray, I'm sorry, my friend.
You
Hang
skipped
on.
the Magic, but that's cool.
That's all right.
But
My
at least
bad.
they're both.
There's so many files in here, guys. Sorry about that. Here you go.
What I had? Oh my God. Well, I mean,
Not bad.
it's not bad.
Miami, Houston is leading a division. So
Yeah, so I got
Cleveland and the Jets was horrible, and I mean the Bengals. Nobody expected that.
Neither one of those 3 teams are gonna be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I only got 3 in the playoffs, right?
Oh man,
Yeah,
we
that's-
suck.
Damn. My NFC should look good though.
There you go.
Okay.
I said Tampa.
No, you didn't.
No, you said
no, you did not.
I said Tampa.
You said Atlantis right there.
I know I said
You
Tampa.
gotta be kidding me.
I don't like Kirk Cousins.
You gotta be kidding me. I said Tampa.
You was believing.
I didn't change anything.
Man, get this out of here.
You was all in after the Matt Judon move. You was
Here's
all in.
Mazes.
Well, I tell you like this though.
Here's Mazes.
I tell you what, I got the championship game right.
There's Mazes.
You couldn't pick between Raheem Morris, and
Black
Todd Bowles.
Hey man, too many black guys, man. I couldn't decide. Okay.
Oh man.
There's Mazes.
It was like when Tony Dungy and Lovey got after it. I ain't know who I wanted to win.
Look at
I got
Maz.
the championship game right. That's all that matters for both of us.
Maz sucked too.
Yeah,
Just goes to show you how hard it is, man. How different each year is, right?
Yeah.
Every year is so unique to its own year. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is why when you have an opportunity to go for it, you must go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta lay it
I
on
mean,
the line.
it's just that's why, like, okay, the Jets.
Yeah.
Perfect example. And anytime we talk about the Jets, somebody always, oh, you guys, we're not talking about the Jets. Oh, but the Jets are a perfect example. Listen, they haven't made the playoffs in 12, 13, 14 years. This will be 14 years. Why not go for it? Why not take a shot and go for it? It didn't work. It's an unmitigated disaster.
Yeah.
Fine. Your organization has been a disaster for outside of 2 years for the last 20.
Yeah.
Go for it. The Cleveland Browns, your organization was a laughingstock and somewhat is to this day not so much a laughingstock, but that contract to Deshaun Watson, I never was against it.
Yeah.
I was never against it because you are the Cleveland freaking Browns. Who is the last good quarterback you had? Bernie Kosar, and he was just okay, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And you had an opportunity to
Looking
go
back, you still good. You still support.
Absolutely. Because when you are an organization that is like that, you have to go for it when you have the opportunity to go for it. Every year is so if you can catch lightning in a bottle with Aaron Rodgers, with Deshaun Watson, and think about the quarterbacks that you have had in your organization, quarterbacking your team, leading your team, I am still okay. It didn't work. So what? You're not in the playoffs, just like you weren't in the playoffs every other year.
But I think we've seen as a track record now, we have proven fact that it doesn't work. Like the only time that it worked was for one guy who we already called the greatest quarterback of all time, whether it's true or not, and it's Tom Brady.
Worked for Matt Stafford, too, the following year.
Yeah, it did.
It worked for Peyton Manning. I mean, if you go back, Peyton Manning had neck surgery, goes to the Broncos, and makes it to 4 Super Bowls.
He made it to 2 more, and that almost didn't work. Brock Osweiler got him across the finish line. But to your point, it worked. Matt Stafford, I guess.
Kurt Warner in Arizona.
But 245 guaranteed.
But again, now that we know it's ridiculous,
nobody has gotten that much to this point.
But who expected him to fall off a cliff like he did?
He was a
top 10 quarterback before that.
Top 10. He was a top 4 guy.
I would argue that. Yes,
top 4 guy.
But the reason why I asked Ryan, I said knowing what we know now, like knowing the fact that what was going on mentally with him as he's leaving the Texans after the allegations, all these things. Now you're handicapping yourself to this player that you don't even know is going to be that based on everything. You don't even know if he's going to play.
Right.
So I look at it, if I'm looking at hindsight, then I can't look back and say, no, I can't do this. But look, at the time, I was with it too. I remember the year he had.
I was desperate for the Lions to do it.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
It's funny because we were overlooking all the other stuff because we wanted a quarterback.
Yes, exactly.
And now look at the Browns.
No doubt. All right, so had a little fun there. All right, Bray, we teased it long enough. Top 10 Thursday, Top 10 Thursday.
Ooh.
My voice, your voice. We are battling, so I can't do my. Maybe somebody can scream it for me. Go ahead, Pete.
Top 10 Thursday.
Thank you,
Don't
sir.
do it like that.
I know, right? Different segment. Different segment.
Top 10, Bray, what do we got?
Top 10 Thursdays, I think a melting point right now in the NFL is the quarterback race. Who's going to win the MVP? Who's the best quarterbacks? NFC, AFC. So, just going by right now, where players were right now, where their teams were right now, taking all of that to account. These are my top 10 quarterbacks that's currently listed in the NFL.
Here's the spray
Let's start
paint.
honorable mention. There's an honorable mention on there.
Woohoo!
Oh, he didn't put the honorable mention on there, so never mind.
No, it wasn't on there.
Number 10.
Actually, it's in the corner right there.
Oh, yeah. It's very, very small.
I see it. Sam Darnold. I think the way Sam Darnold is playing right now, look, he's having a phenomenal year. He's definitely going to get paid. A little bit of mention for him. And also, his team's 12-2. Justin Herbert. I believe that Jim Harbaugh has found something in him. He deserves to be number 10. He went 369 passes this year without throwing an interception. So he's definitely dialing back in. They're winning. They're 8-6, I do believe. So Justin Herbert and he doesn't even have any wideouts. Quentin Johnson's not really a wide receiver. He's found Ladd McConkey a little bit, but shout out to Justin Herbert. Number 9, Jaden Daniels. He plays an amazing football right now. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I think he's proven that he was everything that people said he was out of LSU, and even more, much deserving of the Heisman Trophy. And he's got that Commanders. Shout out to Magic Johnson because they got them one. Number 8, Matt Stafford. You know Matty Stafford was going to be here somewhere. I think when he's on, he's as good as any quarterback in the NFL. Getting to the Rams, he's kind of shown us that. So, you see the Rams, they're fighting. They're leading that division. It's because of Matt Stafford and that offense. Sean McVay, he definitely have a great symmetry. So, shout out to Matt Stafford, man. I think he's proving on top of the Super Bowl win last 2 seasons that, hey, look, I'm like that. I deserved everything I was supposed to get. Once I got it, I'm going to keep rolling. So, number 8. And then we go to number 7. We talked about him. This is Maz's guy. Maz never quit on Baker Mayfield.
He didn't.
He wanted him ever since the Rams. He's kind of slowly but surely figured it out, and now he's balling like no one else. I think he's third in the league in touchdowns with 32.
Yeah.
Not a lot of interceptions. He finds ways to motivate his team. Baker's a true leader, and they're winning games, and I think they're going to win that division as well.
Maz told us. We didn't listen.
Maz told us, man. Maz wanted him here over Jared Goff. He still likes him over Goff,
I know.
to be honest.
It's crazy, but.
All right. Number 6, last half of the back half at least, Jordan Love. Like Jordan Love, you can say what you want to. Jordan Love, now that he's healthy, starting to look like that Jordan Love that we saw last year go on that run in the Super. So I'm kind of mixed them together, and I'm giving them some credit for that injury. He looks good, and I think having Josh Jacobs, they're now taking the ball out of his hands a little bit more. Jordan Love is cold, man, and he releases pause. Like when his passes go, pretty as anybody in the league.
He got that gunslinger mentality, though, most definitely. But I would have him in the top 10, just probably lower on the list. But he deserves to be top 10 for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
I honestly, I'd go Baker Mayfield over Jordan Love now.
Thank you.
Okay, well, they're behind each other. You can flip flop it.
Yeah.
I'm just creating conversation.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I don't
We got a
mind
show to do,
that at all.
man.
I guess Baker did beat the Lions.
Yeah, he did.
Before the injuries.
He did. Yeah.
Before the injuries. All right, I'm cool with that. Where are you guys with this 5 so far?
I love it. Jaden Daniels, and again, this is right now. He was playing top 5 level for me earlier this year.
Yeah.
He has fallen off, and he's regained it now a little bit. He has kind of had a little bit of a rookie slump, and now he's kind of coming back over the hill to playing really good winning football.
Yeah,
100%. What do you think, Pete? You smooth?
I tell you what, Bray, I really do kind of like this list. Justin Herbert definitely belongs at the 10. I feel bad for Jaden Daniels. Like you said, he should be ahead of Matt Stafford and Baker Mayfield by now, but maybe as he gets healthier in the offseason, he will. But, Bray, I like it so far, man. I think you got a good order, my friend.
Well, let's keep it rocking and rolling, man.
Okay, let me bring up the spray
I think
paint.
a lot of people are trying to figure out where their number 16 is at. Well, look no further than number 5, Jared Goff. I got Jared Goff coming in at number 5. He's having an amazing season. He definitely deserves to be in the MVP category, the conversation. His team is second best record in the league, leading the division. So you got to put him up there. You've seen what he's done. He's been clutch for his team in moments. He's had some bad games, but guess what? Everybody on this list has had a bad game or 3. Number 4 is Patrick Mahomes. He's Patrick Mahomes. I repeat, he's Patrick Mahomes. You can never have him pass 4. To be honest, 4 is almost disrespectful.
Yeah, I thought you have him higher.
Almost disrespectful, but like I said, this is about the quarterback play that I'm seeing now.
I'm curious to see if you got one name on this list that I'm looking for.
Yep.
One name specifically
100%.
I'm looking for.
Yes, he's on the list. But Patrick Mahomes, 13-1, number 1 record in the league. He deserved to be on his back-to-back Super Bowl champ, but he's finding ways to win. It's not always pretty, but number 15 is the catalyst why they win games. So got to put him on there. Number 3. Here we go. Is this the guy you're looking for?
Yep, he's on the list.
That's
what I was looking for.
You're damn right. Listen, I don't care about the record, which is under 500. I don't care about the record, which probably won't get them into the playoffs. This guy is having one of those years, and you watch the offense, it is not him. It is his defense, and it is his head coach. It is his defense, his head coach, and his owner that will not spend money.
Yep.
That is what's caused. In fact, the guy that's about to win the Triple Crown, guess what? He didn't get paid either. So Joe Burrow's having one of those years that you just can't slay. I can't put it number 1 because, once again, his team does have a losing record. If his team had one game above 500, I would have him number 1.
Yep.
All right. Number 2, we getting close.
Ooh, I thought he'd be number 1.
Right, me too.
Josh Allen. Everything that you say about him is going to be true. Josh Allen just beat the Detroit Lions. They got the 3rd best record in the NFL. They got a date. He beat Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes this year. What can you say? He's had a great year. They've dialed him back. He's been Superman, but he's been a controlled version of that.
Yeah.
But the numbers are the numbers, and I can't overlook. When I'm talking about my quarterbacks now, I can't overlook what number 2 is doing.
Him downsizing his turnovers has made his game
100%.
so much better.
Second in the league in touchdowns rushing, right behind Jalen Hurts. He's doing a phenomenal job.
8 straight weeks, the Buffalo Bills have scored over 30 points.
Wow.
That is incredible.
Elite. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But
sorry,
number
Miss
1,
Jackson.
Number 1's number 8, man. Number 1 is number 8 for me. Lamar Jackson has 3 interceptions. 2 of those were drop passes, by the way.
Yeah.
2 of those were drop passes, Ryan Ermanni. Whatever you need, you want. QBR, he's 2. Passing yards, he's 1. Or he's 2. Touchdowns, he's 1. Tied with Joe Burrow. Like, Lamar Jackson just finds ways to get better and better. Efficiency. They said he couldn't throw. Say he wasn't accurate.
Yeah.
Finds ways to be accurate. And then you add the running game element to what he's done. I can't not have him 1. Now, I'm not saying he deserves the MVP over Josh Allen, but just my quarterbacks, Lamar 1, Josh Allen 2.
Now, what I will say is there was like a 3 to 4 week stretch where Lamar Jackson really wasn't playing that great, but Derrick Henry, the addition of Derrick Henry has been everything for that Baltimore offense.
Just like James Cook. The addition of James Cook.
But not, I mean, Derrick Henry is doing way more than James Cook, but I do agree with your point, though.
James Cook catches the ball a little bit out of the backfield, too. Derrick Henry necessarily doesn't do that.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. I just think quarterback, well, I gotta take Lamar Jackson right now.
I feel you.
But I love what Josh Allen is doing. Yeah. So this is where I'm at with it. You know.
I appreciate your list. There's no way I'd put Lamar Jackson over Josh Allen right now.
I feel you.
The Ravens haven't scored 20 2 of the last 4 weeks. Lost big games at the Steelers. Lost a big game against the Eagles.
Yeah.
Where the game wasn't that close.
They've had some struggle points.
For my money, I'm going Josh Allen over everybody right now, including Patrick Mahomes. That's how good this offense has been. But I love you. The 10 guys are the 10 guys.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
100%.
You can argue that Josh Allen did more with less too at a certain point in the season. They did get Amari Cooper,
and that's what I struggled on.
Yeah.
And obviously they had Amari Cooper. He's number 1 pick, but he's not Amari Cooper number 1 pick that he was. You look at that. Like, he's fine. Khalil Shakir is the number 1 receiver for the Buffalo Bills, and he's finding ways to get it done. So you do have to give Josh that credit and that love, and that's respect. And
I mean, if you look, go back to our season predictions. I mean, you don't have to, Pete. I'm just saying. Not one of us had the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs.
Yeah,
because I mean, we thought this was the downhill.
Everybody did.
This was the Sean McDermott. What is he still doing there?
Window
he can't
closed.
coach.
Yep.
The window is closed. Stephon Diggs wanted out so bad, he got out. Who was Josh Allen going to throw to?
Right. They lost a lot on defense, too, in free agency. So
no doubt. So good list, absolutely. And we're splitting hairs over Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, but that's what we're doing. Good stuff. Braylon, great job. Coming up next, we are going to go around the NFL. We'll do that next. But first, a message from us here at WSN.
It is the pregame show coming up this Sunday. And it begins 8 to 9 a.m. right here on Woodward Sports with Woodward and Maine. Isn't that right, Maria?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Woodward and Maine with Terry, Reginald Foster, and Matthew Broder, 8 to 9 a.m. this coming Sunday, Lions game day here at Woodward Sports as they preview the Lions at the Bears. And then following them, 10 to noon, it's the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame show with Sean Belegian and the great Neil Rule as they will break down Lions at Bears with all the injury insights. I give you my Pete's Parlay, and we have the best pregame show in all of Metro Detroit, brought to you by New Holland Brewing Company, 1800 Tequila, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, and Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Hey. And I'm going to put the camera on you there, Kenny G, because I had it on Ryan's seat from last weekend. There you go, Kenny G.
Hey, it's cool, but you know, if you tuned in for everything that Pete just said, then why would you go anywhere else, man? We got the New Holland Brewing Company watch party with the heavyweights and the New Holland Brewing Company post-game show with Stick and Anson, all right here on Woodward Sports, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, 1800 Tequila, Soroki's, and Sabbath Coffee. And y'all know what the watch party is about. All the WSN personalities converge on I forgot the bar, but in Shelby Township for a great experience. Hold on, say that again. Hey, social in Shelby Township. Shout out, Stick. And you know we have a good time, man. We watch the game, give you our reactions in real time. You can be a part of the show as well if you come up there. We'll put you on camera. But of course, after that, it's the New Holland post-game show with Stick and Anson, and you you are going to get their unfiltered, unadulterated takes on everything that happened during the Lions game right here on Detroit's #1 sports network. That is Woodward Sports.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry, offer ends December 20th.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Absolutely right. You won't get any more. Signature wings at Soroki's with real fans' favorite. Limited time only. Look, lemon pepper wings are the best on the menu, but they got 6 other flavors, so pull up on them and try the wings out. Keyword, limited time only. We told you about the Dave's Hot. We told you about that hot. We told you about the sandwich that was going to disappear, and it did. So did the pizza, but the wings are here now, so pull up on them. Crispy chicken and pizza still available, and don't forget about the honey biscuits. Soroki's with a real fans' favorite. 12 days of fitness, not Christmas, with Planet Fitness. You got to sign up right now, hear about the deals. Sign as low as $1 down because it's fitness that fits into your budget. That's what Planet Fitness wants to offer you. With over 50 metropolitan Detroit locations, they're the gym for you because they're the squeaky clean gym. Trainers on deck, on staff for you, ready to be active in whatever you need to do. And then also, there's no judgment. So you come down to Planet Fitness and you get it in because your fitness is essential.
Very good. Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, KG is here. Pete Spivak is here. Intern Maria is here. Tom Mazaway out. He'll be back tomorrow. We wish Tom Mazaway all the best. He's had a little minor procedure with his eyes today. And so we're wishing him the best and a speedy recovery because we love it when he's here. We need him. We need Tom Mazaway in our lives. We all need Tom Mazaway in our lives. Trust me. All right, before we go around the NFL, I'm going to kind of intermix a little bit of football here, Braylon. Fill in the blank for me, even though we'll do that tomorrow.
Okay.
Your excitement level for the college football playoff is?
High. I'm actually high. Like, look, I've talked about. I still don't agree with the 12 playoff system. I don't think you need one to decide who the best team in the nation is. 4 teams that you really use to decide that. With that being said, it's going to be some good football, and we haven't seen a lot of that this season. We've seen a lot of empty games, a lot of you wish you can have back. You've seen a lot of bad coaching, This is a chance to see the best teams in the country in a March Madness type atmosphere. I mean, you got 2 games on Friday. You got 2 games coming out the game on Saturday. So I think this is some fun before the holiday, kind of finish with a bang for the college football season. So I'm excited to see some programs. I want to see Ashton Genty and what he can do in a playoff game. I want to see SMU and Penn State. Also, we've talked so much at odds, KG. Tell me if I'm lying.
Yeah.
The conversation has always been, shoot, them SEC teams, they don't want to come up here in December.
That has been the conversation.
They don't want to come up here when it's cold and it's snowing. They're not used to that down there. They're going to come up there and then be out of sorts. Well, this Saturday, Tennessee's going to Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what that looks like.
13 degrees
Ohio State,
at night.
100%. 13 degrees, but guess what? Ohio State's offensive line, trash.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee's defensive line, powerful. So we're going to see what happens. So I'm excited to see these little nuances of things that we've maybe thought about and they haven't happened. Is James Franklin really a choke artist? Because if he loses to SMU, then he's a choke artist. Because Penn State's a better football team. So I'm excited a little bit, man. I think this could be fun.
KG?
Yeah, I would say an 8 because it's the element of surprise. Like I said, they did this on purpose because they want to sell hope for programs like an SMU, for programs like Indiana. Can they really go in there? Tennessee, as you brought up, can they really go into the horseshoe?
Notre Dame and Indiana. It's a great call.
Mm-hmm. Can Tennessee actually go to the horseshoe and beat an Ohio State team who is arguably the best in the Big Ten? So I think these elements of surprise are going to be entertaining. Do I think that those teams will get through to the next round? No, not really, because college football always finds its level, and it'll find its level in this case. But going forward, you might get those surprises going forward, and I'm looking forward to that. So.
Yeah, 100%. I think you'll have some of those situations. I mean, look at Penn State's road.
Yep.
You look at the road Penn State has to travel to get to the national championship. Their bracket it's not necessarily the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got SMU, they got Arizona State. That's not necessarily the toughest road to go. So I think water will meet its level in that regard. But, I think it is the unknown in watching other teams. Like, what is this going to look like? What is Arizona State going to look like?
Mm-hmm.
With Scatterbo,
right.
Boise think he should have won the Heisman.
Whoever thought we see Boise in the playoff with a bye? Like, come on.
I'm trying to talk about the fun side. You about to make me tap into why I hate this thing so much. But I'm excited to see. I think it's going to be fun. You got some games in there. And what's going to happen?
Starts tomorrow night, Indiana at Notre Dame. I mean, you're talking about in-state.
Yeah. Anybody can win.
I think Notre Dame is my dark horse to win this whole thing.
Their running back is nice.
And I'm telling you, Indiana could go in there and beat them.
I don't know.
There is no doubt in my mind Indiana can go into Notre Dame and win that game. I mean,
you saw enough in that Ohio State Indiana game to believe that they could beat Notre Dame.
Yes.
Notre Dame might be on the best roll of any team.
I agree. That's why I believe they could win if I had to pick one team,
Riley Leonard figured it out.
If I had to pick one team to win the national championship, it would be Notre Dame.
I would hate that too.
But Indiana, don't let that game at Columbus. I watched that game. People looked at the final score. That game was changed on 2 special teams plays. 2. And it was a disaster at that point. So
I don't know. They struggled to beat Michigan, though. I mean,
did.
There are bumps along the road for them.
They did. They did.
We should just go through and pick, because I know who I'm picking.
Okay, let's do it.
What you got going on?
Okay, I got Texas over Clemson. I got Ohio State over Tennessee. I've got Penn State over SMU. And I've got Notre Dame over Indiana. I've got Notre Dame over Georgia. I've got Boise over Penn State. I've got Oregon over Ohio State. And I've got Texas over Arizona State. I've got Oregon over Texas. I've got Notre Dame over SMU. So my national championship is Notre Dame and Oregon. And I'm going with Notre Dame.
Wow.
Notre Dame to win the national championship. And listen, I hate Notre Dame for the record. I just want to go on record and saying that.
Yeah.
I loathe Notre Dame, but that team is built to win. They can play defense. They can run the football. They can get off the field on third down. Offensively, they can convert on third down. They are built to win a championship. Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Okay.
I'm about to have some fun with this one. I'm taking Clemson over Texas.
Wow. Okay.
First of all, last time I saw, I think Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning are both trying to get out of Texas, both trying to get the deal, go down to UNC with Bill Belichick. I just haven't seen Texas look like the team that I thought they were a couple weeks ago. I'm joking. I'm taking Texas.
I was about to say.
Nobody taking Clemson down.
Dabo, you going with Dabo? Man?
I'm going Texas, Tennessee, Penn State, Notre Dame. I'm taking Texas over Arizona State. I'm taking Oregon over Tennessee, Penn State over Boise State. I'm taking Georgia over Notre Dame. I'm taking Oregon over Texas, and I'm taking Notre Dame over Georgia. So I think I got the same as you. I got, Oregon and Notre Dame.
Yeah, and y'all both picking Notre Dame to win it all.
I'm taking Oregon.
Okay.
I ain't picking
let's have some normalcy here.
100%. But I think that is the game. When you look at this bracket, you look how the bracket's set up. I think Penn State and Notre Dame are on a collision course, and then I think Texas and Oregon are on a collision course. I think that's kind of when you look at the bracket, that's what it looks like. Pete.
Oregon is the best team up top. There's no question in my mind. If you split the bracket in half, Oregon is the best team up top, and Notre Dame is the best team on the bottom. To me.
Yeah, Matt, and it's coaching. You look at Matt Lanning, you start to look at which coach do you trust up there. So as well as Sarkisian plays, Sarkisian will Sark. Do you choke Heupel? Yeah, Ryan Day, no. James Franklin, no. SMU to be decided. So I think it's about who do you trust at that corner. And I think Matt Lanning is the guy up there that you chose as a coach, and Kirby Smart obviously, but I just don't think they have the team this year.
Yeah.
Hey, before I get another break in, I want to put this Saturday slate up. This Saturday college football and NFL slate. This could be the greatest day in the history of December. Okay? There might not be a better day than this in the history of the month of December. You've got 3 college football playoff games and 2 big-time NFL games. Texans at Chiefs, Steelers at Ravens. Then the 3 playoff games. Noon, 4 and 8. SMU at Penn State, Clemson at Texas, Tennessee at Ohio State. Find me a better date in December.
You can't. They take it from the NBA.
I may not leave the house. If I'm leaving the house, then it's maybe at the halftime of Clemson, Texas game, just switching locations to continue watching these games. When I'm leaving my house, go to my parents or... That's a slate, man. And and all these games, they have something online. And that's Steelers Ravens game. We were talking about is Lamar Jackson and Ravens, are they still in it? They could beat these Steelers teams. So that's dope. And Texans, Chiefs, I think the Texans aren't necessarily what we thought they were going to be, but they're still a damn good team. And who knows?
No
who
doubt.
knows what can happen.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, our WSN Injury Insider, Dr. Jeff Pierce, is in the house. We'll get you the latest on those Lions injuries. But first, a message from Caesars.
All right, everybody, you got to get the Caesars Sportsbook right now by scanning that QR code above my head. And if you scan that QR code, you can open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account, but only if you use the code word Woodward 1000. Once you open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account and use that code word Woodward 1000 and deposit at least $20, you'll make your first bet. If you make your first bet of $20 or more and that bet happens to lose, you'll get that first bet back as a bonus bet up to $1,000, but only if you scan the QR code above my head and use the code word Woodward 1000 to get your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. And then when you start winning, you're going to take those winnings over to shop.woodwardsports.com and load up on the greatest Detroit sports merch around, guaranteed to turn heads around town. You got your Lions, you got your Pistons, you got your Red Wings, you got your Tigers, all 4 of your top main teams here in Detroit. And don't forget about your Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes shirts as well, only at shop.woodwardsports.com. Load up. It's the holidays, baby.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Oh yeah, everybody! It is Mark White time, and if you are dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch, Mark White and his associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today, 248-290-8242, or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
And after you buy that new house, how about you celebrate with a nice glass of tequila, man? 1800 Tequila is the official tequila of Lions Woodward Sports watch parties and post-game show. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every single Lions game. This Sunday, we'll be live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township, and we feasted on beer and turning up with smooth 1800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your and our Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila is the best taste in tequila, and please, y'all, drink responsibly.
All right, time now to bring in our WSN Injury Insider, Dr. Jeff Pierce, Michigan Sports and Spine. Before we get going right now, I just want to remind everybody what Dr. Pierce said on Monday. We had Dr. Pierce on Monday on our show after the David Montgomery injury and after so much speculation about David Montgomery going on IR and being out for the season.
Yeah.
Here's what Dr. Pierce said on Monday during our show.
Play with a brace with that. There are other options where the ACL, I trust the team physicians, and if they're saying, he needs surgery right away to repair it. In the old days, they would let's get through the season, we'll deal with it. Let's brace it, let's do everything we can. today's a bigger business with long-term thinking, and it's not like the ACL where you're down, you're done, because you cannot create any stability. With an MCL, you can create alternative stability with that injury. So play with a brace with that. There are other options where the ACL, you don't have much of an option. With an MCL, there's some options, and the thing is, they're so powerful and strong, depending on how much swelling was around it. There's other factors that go into it.
Dan Campbell followed that up the next day.
Calm down.
Dan Campbell came out the next day and said they're not going to put David Montgomery on IR. And then just Wednesday, David Montgomery said he is not done for the year. He is going to try to come back at some point. And so, Dr. Jeff Pierce, good afternoon to you.
How are you all doing?
Doing great.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of like what we talked about. I didn't hear exactly what I was saying, but to elaborate, I mean, it's the MCL. Unfortunately, we have some video that we can't show because of YouTube rights right now, but basically we were showing that the anatomy of the MCL, the medial collateral ligament, it's a lot different injury than the ACL. So I actually had a cool video, if we can eventually get it up, but it was a tear of the ACL showing the difference versus the MCL. The MCL is basically, just to give you a little bit of anatomy, it's the inside of the knee. It holds the stability of just the inside. And there's a question if it's a complete tear, a partial tear, if it's a strain. Everybody's using all these different words. Then we heard potential surgery, then we said maybe not. So try to clear the air. It's a ligament on the inside of the knee, which I'm pointing to my knee, you can't see. But here's the joint. If this is the inside, it's a ligament that holds across that joint line. And it helps from moving this way. As opposed to the ACL, it helps this way. So with his lateral movements, it's more detrimental, but he's also got enough powerful muscles in his hamstrings and his quads and his whole lower body to compensate for that. I mean, a lot of guys play without an MCL, let alone a strain. So when we talk about secret sauce and some of the stuff we do, I don't think he should be playing this week, but I don't know if he's ready for surgery. If he's doing surgery, then he has to be focused on repairing that and special recovery, which will not be timely for the playoffs.
Yeah, this isn't really a question for the doc. This is more so agreeing with him. I remember being in Cleveland my rookie year. Josh Cribbs, who ended up being one of my good friends, wanted to be a couple Pro Bowler, a lot of kick returns and punt returns in his career. He did the same thing. He slight tear in his MCL our rookie year and literally set out 2 weeks, then maybe 3. They put him in a brace, start working some things. He started running down on kickoff again, and he started returning punts again. So he played through it, and by the end of the year, you looked up, that brace was gone, and he was fine. He got back to a point, and then he got scoped at the end of the year, and he came back. But you're not running the risk, even in big business, of getting him hurt for a long time tenure. Like, this guy will be fine. He won't hurt it much more than it's already hurt, and then you'll get it scoped and get it cleaned out, and he'll get the procedure. He'll be fine coming next year. So I think they should do what Doc said.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be what he's doing. He's so strong.
Right.
He's so powerful. You don't know if that was the initial injury to his knee, because he's been complaining of some nagging knee issues. This might have just been the hit that kind of put him out a little bit, but it wasn't the main hit. Like an ACL, like with McNeil, it was a moment. That was the moment it tore. He's out. That's there's no question there.
We've seen Montgomery in the tent a bunch of times over the year, and return to the field or not return to the field, but then come back out and start the next game.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that mental toughness too, and the grit. And is he going to pass on it? I see him doing everything to stay on the field before he says, because he can have surgery this week, next week, or the following week,
and it won't make a difference.
It's not going to make a difference. It's he's getting the swelling down. The training room, I'm sure, is keeping that well under control. I'm sure he's getting some of that special sauce to see if it can, heal up or at least get him to a point. Like you said, you can brace an MCL, right? So that brace is going to feel very secure, and because he's so powerful in the rest of his muscles, he should be able to compensate and be productive. Will he be 100%? No. Will he have 10, 11 gear? No. Can he get up to 7, 8 gear? Yeah. So Montgomery is 7, 8 with his mental toughness. With where we're at, I think it's worth a shot. Don't just shut him down just yet.
And, Dr. Pierce, that's exactly kind of what he's saying now, and you've been saying that since Monday, ahead of the curve on everybody in terms of that, and that's one of the reasons why we love having you here. But David Montgomery said, look, I'm not having surgery right now. As of this moment, he is not going to have season-ending surgery. As of this moment right now, if he does not have that surgery, which would put him out for the rest of the year because that's a different recovery, if he does not have that surgery, what are we looking at here? Are we looking at regular season comeback? Are we looking at 5 weeks? Maybe they get a first-round bye and they're in the divisional round. What are we looking at in terms of legitimate time off?
If he doesn't have surgery?
If he does not have the surgery.
Yeah, that's a week-to-week thing. He's off 2 weks for sure. Why play him Chicago? We should be able to beat Chicago without Montgomery if we have. I think the boys are going to come out real strong. The following week, I think it's game to game in his strength and what he's doing, because there's parameters for him to accomplish. Is he going to be doing box jumping up to the 6 foot level? No. Is he going to be able to cut and change directions? Yeah, that's what we need to do. Is he a decoy? Is, like I said, when he gets to that 7-8 gear, like I keep saying, the 10 gear system, which actually Braylon started me on that analogy. But I think everybody's playing. He's got to be above that 6, 7, 8 that he feels, right? So that's education. That's a great training system that they have there. The medical doctors there. I mean, we're happy to see him put our 2 cents in. The secret sauce that's being done on a daily basis. I think it's game. You do surgery now, there's no question, right? I think we're going to go week to week, and as we win and as we go, I think we can just let him rest even more, which is even putting him at a stronger position to be ready for the playoffs.
Talking to Dr. Jeff Pierce, Michigan Sports and Spine. And Dr. Pierce, just looking at yesterday's practice report, Brian Branch out with a calf, Taylor Decker out, and so many guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys out with rest. What can rest do this time of year for a professional athlete to not practice? And those guys, Taylor Decker, Frank Ragnow, DJ Reader, Zadarius Smith, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Kevin Zeitler, all out with rest.
Can I answer that question?
Sure.
Not to cut you off. Just as a former athlete, as a player, I can answer that question. When you get to this time of year, and you're putting in this run for the playoff, like you put in a lot of hours, you put in a lot of times, man. You've been hit a lot, you've been banged up, you've been bruised. So when you get an opportunity to get some days off around this time of year, it's not days off like people think. You're not practicing, but you're still going through things to get rid of lactic acids, to give whatever injury, nick, or bruise that you have. You're still riding the bike. You're still coming in getting treatment. You're getting in the whirlpool. You're getting in the cold tub. Right. You're sitting in the sauna. You're doing some light work with the training staff. You might go through a light workout with the strength and conditioning coach, and then you're down in mentally to practice. So that part is what helps you really get back to the field and feel a little bit better like you did maybe 3-4 weeks ago. Is that part. It's doing the rehab and the prehab as well as sitting out. So you're not just standing or sitting and you got your feet kicked up for 24 hours. You're actually working with individuals. You're still getting the lactic acid out there. You're still getting the workout in, and you're still working on whatever is injured. So you're doing some things that help you when you go to the next game or so.
Yeah, I mean, it's really recovery, right? So he keeps throwing out that lactic acid. People don't know. You have a buildup. I mean, these guys are moving at such a high level. There's a reaction to the body. And to get all that out, to get the soreness out, you're still working with the trainer. You're spending more time. You're not worried about hitting. You're still watching film. You're doing everything else. It's that contact. It's that constant beating on the body. The body needs to recover. How we do it, even at the Olympic level, that recovery is so good. Is it hyper oxygen tanks, hyperbaric chambers, things like that. Sitting in the whirlpool an extra half an hour. Chilling out and just relaxing is also mentally part of it. But like he says, you're not on a couch at home, playing gaming at home. Yeah. You're focused. These guys are focused. It's body recovery, which is a natural thing. Like when you had the week off, it made a difference when you came back.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's just extra days. It's days of recovery. There's certain physiological recovery that takes place every day, like sleep. Sleep deprivation, you don't recover. You live longer if you have proper sleep, all that stuff. Your heart works less. Everything's just better and we can get that recovery. And it's drinks, it's nutrition, it's everything. When I say secret sauce, it's including a lot of things. Nutrition is one of them. Working those muscles out, working the lactic acid out, getting that flexibility back, babying that injury. All those things are good.
This might be an unfair question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
To who?
To the Lions, really. You look at all these guys. The Lions have 22 guys out on IR. The next closest team has 12.
Yeah.
Are they doing something wrong? Well, I mean, and you look at a guy like Carlton Davis. Okay, he gets hit underneath the jaw, breaks his jaw. I know that's not the Lions' fault. That's a freak thing. Aiden Hutchinson is a freak thing. Khalil Dorsey, same Aiden Hutchinson type injury. Freak thing. But it is a lot of guys to be out.
You can go pull my clip from preseason. We're full pads. We're going 100% now, so we're prepared. And I played both sides, so I could say something now. That going 100, I think a lot of these injuries are related to that 110% activity level.
100%.
Right? I mean, I can't blame strength and conditioning. It's the attitude. These guys wouldn't have it any other way.
Mm-hmm.
It's the mentality that they have. We're going full out, A to Z, all the time. Is that the biggest? It's the only real thing I can point to. But it's a culture that Campbell has built in that locker room.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are warriors. I mean, they're warriors. They're going to war, and they're leaving it all out there. They're not second guessing. Aiden Hutchinson, did he have to go that aggressive to the quarterback? That's his thing. The hit under the chin. Is he being more reckless? I mean, you can start picking it apart and finding things, and I can create all this verbiage for it. But are we playing reckless? Are we playing smart? Are we playing 110%? Are we winning? Is that culture? There's a culture there. There's definitely a common ground that we're not going to really acknowledge. There's a common ground going on with the Lions that it's the double-edged sword. They're fighting at 110%. We're winning at 110%, but we're also putting ourselves at I don't want to use the word reckless, but a little bit of higher risk of injury doing that. There's not one person or like I always refer back to the Red Wings, which is the only thing I can really relate to at our professional level. We had crazy, stupid injuries because of our training program changed, and we had a lot of sports hernias. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't.
It might be pre-you.
Yeah.
But we had, Darren, I think, had 2 or 3 surgeries. Draper had 2 or 3 surgeries. Osgood, everybody had some type of surgery. It was all because we were training him in that forward flex position to say we're going to be faster. But we found out that, when you're in that forward flex position, we're tightening that muscles. We were shortening the ligaments. And then when you get hit upright, it was just so taut that it tore when you did it. So we changed that direction. We changed the training program, and we changed that flexibility program. So that was a moment in time that we could point to. Right now, my best theory is what I just got done saying, not to repeat it all.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
No, I was going to say, literally 2 days ago, I was talking to Stick. Stick was sitting in that very same chair, and he asked me that question. He said, is it the intensity that the Lions play with? And I agree with you 100%. They play with 110% intensity. They play for the man next to him because they don't want to be the one on film that doesn't look good. They don't want to be the one on film that doesn't look like the rest of the locker room. So when you play like that, I mean, how many times have you heard, teams or players say before playing a team, it's like, we're going to have to give them a little extra this game, and we're going to really get up because of what happened. There's a real level to professional sports athletes giving extra or giving all they have versus giving enough to get by. And I think with this Detroit Lions team, every game, more often than not, they're giving all they have. And when you got guys out there going 120%, it's like in practice. Coach sometimes say, hey, slow down. These Lions guys, they don't slow down.
No.
Yeah.
Dr. Pierce, you're the man, buddy.
I wish.
Yeah.
You
went viral,
Thanks
man.
for coming in.
You got the Superman spit curl, too, man. I see that guy.
You went viral. All right, check out
We got to play it.
Check out Dr. Pierce, MichiganSportsandSpine.com. Bray, get us out of here.
Appreciate you guys for listening. Don't have much of a voice. Going to try to save it for tomorrow's show, which Ryan, Ermanni, myself, Tom Mazza will be back in studio, as well as KG. KG won't be here, but Maria and Pete Spivak will. We'll see you tomorrow. We appreciate Dr. Jeff Pierce. See ya.
Thank you. Oh, I wanted that.
Yeah, my No, you're good. So, and mute that.